What's new in what's new in real estate this week? Or do
I
we
don't
want
know.
or do we want to
You-
talk about the book we just finished reading?
that you just finished reading.
I just finished reading about In Defense of Food, it's called. One of our groups actually decided to do something a little different this month and chose this book instead of our usual positive self-help books. So it's kind of interesting. But anyway, I guess we don't need to
That's
talk
in a
about
way
it.
it kind of is. It's just more along food and health.
It's actually a little dated. I mean, it was written in '08.
Yeah.
So I think that a lot has happened in the last, what, 12, 14 years to the food. I
Yeah.
mean, I think there's been a lot of people who have gotten dialed into the whole thing. So
And it was kind of a follow-up to his Omnivore's Dilemma, which was a huge success and a big book. And to me, it was kind of more of an expansion of that. But
it was so what was Omnivore's Dilemma? What's the dilemma?
what to eat, I guess,
Well, that's what he talks about in Defense of Food, that basically that what he calls nutritionism and all of this, like dissecting bits of food and trying to figure out what the one element is that the secret sauce to the food, but actually it's a whole package. They all work synergistically, which is his point about eating. We don't actually know. Our science isn't good enough to measure all of the interactions and the synergies that happen in a little package of like, like say, I don't know, a wheat kernel or something like that. So, right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So I've been trying to follow but I haven't been very good about it. And actually reading the Forks Over Knives, the whole plant. What is it called? Whole plant. What is it? Whole plant.
You mean whole food, plant-based?
Whole food, plant-based. Yeah. Diet. And I've been trying to follow that, but honestly, I this book is kind of motivating me to really get back on track with that and tighten that up. Because you slide. And I think that's a difficult thing about any of this kind of stuff, is that there is so many pressures on us, I think, by the food industry, by the food lobby, to it's just easy to grab something off the shelf and you get busy and you don't want to take the time to cook and shop and whatnot. It's easy just to pop something in the microwave, but anyway, whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
And I know.
I mean, it's almost countercultural to try, I mean, COVID really helped, I think. Well, I know it helped me because we were locked down and we couldn't eat out.
Mhm.
And so I did get into more cooking, and it was an ideal time to get into the whole Forks Over Knives program. But now that we've opened up again, of course, you start backsliding. So you've been
I'm
really
still
good
cooking for
though.
you.
I mean, you're what? Yeah, you're still
I'm still
cooking. Right?
cooking it for you.
I mean, you're really good. I mean, you don't eat any meat. You are like 100% vegan. You don't do dairy. You don't do anything. You're not tempted by any of that stuff.
Every now and then we'll eat, like, I don't know, a piece of birthday cake at a special event, or sometimes, not always, but or a dinner roll that may or may not have some dairy in it or whatever. But we never eat meat, and we basically avoid all dairy. But every now and then something sneaks in, and but yeah, we're pretty much 100%. Yeah.
Mhm. Well, you're much more disciplined than I am. I mean, about a month or so ago, Bob and I left the house early. We go to church. We have choir Sunday mornings, and we go to church early, and because choir rehearses before the service, and then we have the service, and then we have our choir rehearsal. Anyway, the point being is that we left early. We had probably 20 minutes. So on the way to church, we drive by Do Right Donuts. And I'm like, you know what? Let's go get a do-right donut. We got time. Let's go get a donut.
They
And
have vegan ones.
they do, but I mean, that's still a lot of sugar and a lot of fat.
Well, yeah, but I just meant you could still stick to the no dairy, no egg, no
Well,
dairy.
no, but that's not the point. The point is all the sugar and all the fat, right? But
Yeah.
and the thing is, after you eat that, it's like, I didn't even feel good. I mean, I felt bad after I ate it. That's the point. Even though it was vegan and all that stuff, you just
Did you get a vegan one?
no, I don't remember. Actually, I don't remember. Well, they've cut back what their offerings because of COVID. They don't have the same offering, the same number of, they don't have 30 different donuts. They have maybe a dozen now. So I'm not even
Yeah.
sure that was on the menu, but I don't remember what I got. But I don't think.
The dollop coffee that's over by, I don't know if they all do this now or not, because the one by us closed during COVID, but they're still all over, and there's still the one right by behind the Hancock where Stump works. So he usually goes there most days to pick up a coffee, but they carry all their donuts are vegan. They carry, I forgot
Oh,
the name
all
of the
their
place.
donuts are vegan.
Yeah, and it's the from the donut place in Lincoln Park behind the old Charlie Trotters on the alley. I can't think of the name. Can want to say Revolution, but that's the Upton's Naturals. That's their donut line. I can't think of
But
the name of it.
really, I mean, what goes into a donut? What goes into a donut is flour, water, and then you fry it in oil.
Well, no, I mean
and yeast, right?
they've got eggs and dairy in them too. So
Well, you
that's
can
what
have, but when I used to make donut holes, I don't think I'd have to go get
there's egg for sure, and usually dairy depending on the type of donut. But yeah, and then there's often
I have to go get my
icing too.
well, icing is just sugar and water.
Depending on what icing it is, all those cream frosting things.
Well, the cream cheese, yeah, but I mean, but like a sugar glaze is just confectioner's sugar and water. That's nothing. So just because it's vegan doesn't mean that it's healthy, right?
No, but if you are avoiding eggs and dairy, that's one step closer for sure. I mean, yeah, or two steps.
And one of the things I was actually kind of looking at
I'm
forks
not
over
saying everybody
knives,
should go out and eat donuts, but you do have options. Yeah.
but I pulled out my forks over knives book this morning, and of course their whole thing is you don't add any oil. You add no oil to your diet. You cook without oil, and but the whole idea is to eat unprocessed food, and of course oils are heavily processed.
Mhm.
So even quote healthy oils are heavily processed. So that's why they are negative.
Well, it's one of the reasons. The other reason is calorie density. It's such an incredible high calorie density that it doesn't, as you know, it won't. You can eat all the other food you need to eat to fill you up, and maintain a correct calorie density. Then, yeah.
Anyway, whatever. We probably should stop talking about food. So what is going on in the real estate industry? Actually, Dylan, our AEM, had a suggestion when I talked to him last week about you and I should do a collection and have people call in and ask questions, like pick a particular neighborhood. Maybe we could invite Anne to join us and talk about the villa and put together a collection for the villa and show people what's currently available, and they could call in. And Dylan said he'd be an audience member. Yeah. A what?
A guinea pig.
Yeah, he'd be a guinea pig. So I don't know. The interest rates, here's another thing, because I just relisted my 2635 Leland. We're putting it on private exclusives today, and we're going to kind of experiment with the price a little bit and see what kind of a reaction we get. I totally lost the thought. What I was going to say, my point.
Sure, it was good.
Yeah, no, my point was about interest rates. The 30-year fixed are running right around 4.5, 4.75 now. They've really skyrocketed up. But on the jumbo loans, the
Well,
jumbo,
skyrocketed up. That's a little misleading to people that don't know how low that still
well,
is.
no, I mean, last year at this time, 30-year fixed were 3.5%. And
When you
now,
and I were in our early days in real estate, they were at 18%.
yes,
So.
yes. I mean, and actually my seller on Leland, he said, because he does a lot of buying and selling and investing in real estate. And I mean, historically, anything that's below 5% is still an amazing rate.
Yeah, yeah.
So, but what I was going to say is that
I mean,
the jump,
historically, even below 10% is, great. I mean, we've gone through so many periods where they're 12, 15, 18, and I've told somebody recently on one of our calls, back in the day, they used to tell us that interest rates between 10 and 12% meant that the economy was good and balanced. We don't see it that way anymore because we just don't expect interest rates to be there. But that if they were below that there was something wrong with the economy. That's what they used to tell us back in the
oh,
late
really?
80s, early 90s. Yeah.
I never heard that. Wow.
Yeah. It was like they were trying to balance. If they went below 10, they were trying to like balance something in the economy that was out of whack. But yeah, we just don't see it that way anymore. But anyway, yeah.
Yeah, because I think historically, like when your folks and my folks were buying property, it was like the rate was fixed at like 6%. It just didn't move. It was like a 6% rate for years and years and years. I think I'd have to research that. I guess I'm not 100% on that, but anyway, I think when they started to go up to 18%, like they did when I was a new agent, were they weren't 18% when you were a new agent, were they?
Yeah. I was coming in at the tail end of it. I came in 91, and the late 80s into the early 90s, they were kind of peaking out at 18 and a half, something around there. And then those early 90s, they dropped more into that like 14, 15, and then into that 10, 12. But
yeah, I remember when they finally went below 10%, we were all like, woohoo. But anyway, but the market's a little upside down because jumbo loans are actually running at 4.125%, whereas conventional loans are running 4.5, 4.75. So jumbo loans are actually lower than conventional loans, which is kind of an upside down. Usually jumbo
I don't
loans,
know that. I don't know if I've ever seen that, at least not that I remember.
that jumbo loans are lower than.
Yeah.
I know, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It's kind of an anomaly, but I think it's been so for a while because I guess the banks consider the jumbo loans to be a better risk, less risky.
Hmm.
I don't know.
I could see that. I could see that. Yeah. Yeah. I just don't think, in my recollection, that never happened. Not just rare, but never
Right.
that I know of. Yeah.
Right. And then when it did happen, it was considered to be an anomaly in the market. But I don't know. It's such a crazy world we're living in right now, right?
Yeah.
It's hard to know. So so I'm getting 2635 Leland back on the market, and I just have a new condo over here in Edgewater, 1214 Hood, three bedroom, 2 bath, 2,000 square feet. We're gonna be putting that on the market for 475. So I'm hoping that they'll both go quickly this time. Well, I haven't had Hood before. They lived there. They bought that in 06, that property, and they just closed on a condo over here at East Point. So they're in the process of getting into East Point over here at 6101 East North Sheridan, which, by the way, 6101 East North Sheridan, the post office is now changing their address to 940 West Glen Lake. Isn't that interesting? Well, it's been so confusing because there's the Art Deco building built in 1928 or something, right on the corner of Sheridan and Glen Lake. And that's 6101, as it should be, 6101 North Sheridan. And then when they built East Point in the 70s, the builder apparently wanted to keep the Sheridan address and somehow finagled to get the address 6101 East North Sheridan. But it's really confusing. And I mean, and it's really confusing. And a lot of times when you look in the MLS, if you put the listing agents don't know the difference.
Yeah,
They don't, and it's really, so I think it's a good thing that they're changing it to 940 Glen Lake. I mean, hopefully, of course, there'll be a lot of confusion for a while because now the one building will have two addresses.
Right.
But maybe 30 years hence.
Well, I don't understand why it wouldn't have been a Sheridan address, just a different address, like
6105 or something like, well, not
an even number, right? Like
no, an even number would be on the west side of Sheridan.
Oh, I thought you were saying that was the Deco building across the street was.
No. That Deco building's on the northeast corner of Sheridan and Glen Lake. It's across from it's across the street from Malibu East.
Right. Yeah. So I don't know why they, like you said, the way it wouldn't be 6105 or 6109 or whatever that
or something. Right. I mean, that would have.
I mean, that would have
eliminated a lot of the confusion.
How they would normally put the address anyway, but yeah, I don't understand.
Well, it's actually due east. I mean, it actually is not north, but it shouldn't even. Okay. It shouldn't even. I mean, it's east of the 6101 building.
Okay.
And actually, should never have had a Sheridan address because it's actually on Glen Lake. It's on Glen Lake and the lake. But they want, but obviously
I see what you're saying. I thought it was on Sheridan. Okay.
Yeah, no, it's not. But yeah, I mean, that would have been better if they'd get, I suppose though, if they gave it the address of well, I don't know. How do people find it anyway? Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just a mess, but so just a mess. Anyway. Maybe in 40 years it'll all be sorted out, but we won't be selling real estate in 40 years.
I don't know.
Not me.
I plan on living forever.
Yeah. Anyway, so what else is going on?
I need something to do.
Yeah. So what do you got going on? That's what I got going on. What do you got going on?
Oh, nothing that interesting.
You don't have any new listings coming up?
I've still got the coming soon at 400 Ontario. So it's like a big, like an 1,800 square foot 2-bedroom with a terrace facing the city. So that's a really nice unit.
Nice. What is that? What's the price on that?
$750 with the parking.
Nice.
Yeah. That's a really nice unit.
Are you going to put it? Are you going to put it in the MLS, or are you just going to keep it on coming soon?
We're planning on putting it in the MLS when she's ready. She's kind of trying to time it for her move to the East Coast, but should be probably pretty soon. Yeah.
Okay. Good.
I don't know about anything else new. I still got the $5.8 million one in Lincoln Park.
Are you doing a what am I trying to say?
We were doing a broker's open on it, but it got moved. So it's going to be after all of the holidays, like Easter.
It's a good idea. Yeah.
Yeah. So there were a group of other high-end properties that were going to be on with us. And I don't know if they couldn't do the timing. So now we're pushing it back a few weeks. So later this month, we'll do that.
Yeah. Passover and Easter are basically the same weekend this year.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know when Greek Orthodox Easter is.
It's always different. Yeah.
It's sometime in May, probably. I don't know. Well, actually,
my Greek friends always tell me the real Easter. Yeah.
The real Easter. Well, I actually looked into it one time because the Roman Church has this crazy formula about the first Sunday after the first full moon after the blah blah blah.
It has to do with the moon, yeah.
Right, and Greek Orthodox Easter, I shouldn't say Greek, but Orthodox Easter is tied into when Passover is, because in the Bible, of course, all of the events happened during Passover. So Easter can't be in the Orthodox tradition, can't be before Passover. So it's actually
Right.
tied into Passover, which I find interesting. And I have no idea how Passover is determined. I'm sure it's a lunar calendar too, but
Probably.
anyway, so all right. Well, I think we're coming up on 25 minutes here, so I think we've done enough damage for one Monday.
You've upset enough people for one reason or another.
I know, right? We've been politically incorrect long enough today. So everybody have
All
a good
right.
week. We'll figure out about the collection things and
Yeah, I'll have to think about that.
and
Yeah.
let you know. So
All right.
bye.
Have a good week, everybody.